Yeah, good luck with that in Northern Virginia. All right, I'm joined now by Sean Meloy, the political director of Victory Fund. That's a U.S. group campaigning to increase the number of openly LGBTQ politicians and help them get elected. Danica Rome is one of their proteges. Sean, welcome to the show. How surprised were you that Danica won last night, particularly against such a conservative opponent?
Well, we really weren't that surprised at all. Danica was running a campaign that was focused on local issues, and that's what drives many elections in the United States of America. And so when she went doors and talked about traffic congestion and problems with power lines, that's what resonated with people. She is an openly transgender woman, but she ran as an openly transgender woman, but that wasn't the focus of her campaign. The focus of her campaign was her community, and that's something that Bob Marshall wasn't focusing on. He was more worried about passing anti-LGBT legislation. His constituents realized that, and Danica was victorious.
And Danica was the only LGBTQ winner last night. Who else got elected with Victory Fund backing?
Yeah, we're calling this the year of the transgender candidate. Danica obviously is going to be the only openly transgender state legislator in the country once she's sworn in. But we also had some other great wins from transgender candidates across the country. Lisa Middleton in Palm Springs, California, becomes the first non-judicial candidate elected to any office in the state of California. Tyler Titus won in the state of Pennsylvania, a state that voted for Donald Trump last year, to a school board, which is so important when we're talking about trans children growing up. As well as Andrea Jenkins in Minneapolis, Minnesota. She is the first trans person elected to a major city council in the United States of America. And we're so excited that she will probably be followed, hopefully, by Philippe Cunningham, whose votes are finally being counted and will hopefully be announced today.
And I want to ask you, Sean, what are your limits when it comes to supporting LGBTQ candidates? For example, log cabin Republicans. And, for our viewers around the world, if they're not familiar with that, log cabin Republicans are basically, gay, lesbian members of the Republican Party. Do you support them if they have what you consider to be the right agenda?
Yeah, so Victory Fund believes that representation is power. When we elect people like Danica and like our other candidates that won last night, that allows LGBT people to have a seat at the table. So we're not on the menu. So we're able to stop anti-LGBT legislation. It's a lot harder to do that when someone is sitting next to you in a legislature, a city council, or school board. And Victory Fund endorses all LGBT people who are running for office, from the dog catcher all the way up to the United States Senate. And we endorse folks who are openly LGBT and who identify as pro-choice.
And I know this was the first election following the election victory of Donald Trump. We have the midterms next year. 2020 is another presidential election. Talk to me. We've got about 40 seconds. What are your chances of making Donald Trump a one-term president?
Well, at the Victory Fund, we're focused on electing LGBTQ people, and I haven't heard of anyone as of right now who's running for president. But we do have some really important races next year that I think will set the tone for those presidential elections. Senator Tammy Baldwin, the first LGBT person elected to the United States Senate, is up for re-election next year. And Kirsten Sinema, she's a current congresswoman. She's running for Senate in the state of Arizona. That's supposed to be one of the best pickup opportunities for Democrats.
Okay.
And so I think those races will foretell exactly what the chances are in beating Donald Trump in 2020.
All right, Sean Meloy, political director with Victory Fund. Sean, thank you very much. We appreciate you being on the day.